Hey playa, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories, teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, I'm going to be answering your questions about confidence. I want you guys to ask me anything that is on your mind, anything that you're thinking about, anything that you're curious about when it comes to building your confidence. That can mean in talking to your crush, that can mean in making friends, that can mean in talking to your parents about something that's troubling you or that you're struggling with. No matter what it is, we all have it deep inside of us. That strength, that inner strength that we just need to kind of bring out into the world. But it's not always the easiest thing to do. So in this live stream, I'm going to answer all of your questions, anything that's on your mind that you want to know more about. Before I get into that though, I do want to say hi. I want to give shout outs to everyone here in the live stream. Everyone in here. Oh man, I left all my background mess there, but I want to give shout outs to everyone here in the live stream here that jumped in. I call you guys the early birds. Let's see who is here. So if you're watching the live stream right now, jump in, say hi, and say hi in the chat, and I'll give you your shout out. Let's see who we got in here. Hopefully the stream won't lag. It looks like it's already giving me a bit of issues, but hopefully we can fix that. Let's see who we got here. Hey, Jake is Jake. You figured it out. Awesome. Good to see you in here, Jake. Dono is in here. Dono, what is up, man? Dono is a champ, guys. Not only here on the live streams, but Dono is also a champ when it comes to helping out in the Discord. So props to Dono. Let's see. Garrett Go says, hey, YouTuber DMG, Clay playing more. Phoenix is in here. Dark Tart official. Dawo Sita. Let's see. Deirdre Peterson. Santiago Carrillo. YOLO LOL. YouTube Landstalker. Victorio Campo. Santiago. I said him right. Ethan Lilly. Utopian Dystopia. That's a cool name. Imani. Good to see you, Imani. Francisco Plays. Let's see. Matt is in here. King Emmanuel. Arrow. Rage Action. Let's see. The Last of Scrubs. V6ers. Avotic FN. Nija Williams. Good to see you, Nija. Let's see. Yelsha is trash. Winter Sage. I think I've got most of you guys in here. Everyone else saying hi. Thank you for being in the live stream. Thank you for being here, guys. Now, this live stream is going to be a Q&A. If you guys have questions, if you have things on your mind, feel free to ask it in the chat. This whole live stream, this hour is going to be dedicated to answering your guys' questions. So I want to jump in. I want to answer any questions you guys have. If you have a burning question, if I skip over your question, if I don't get to answer it, and you want to kind of jump in and make sure I answer your question, you can always use the super chat function. That's a little $ down there. That's going to allow you to kind of put a question front and center right in front of my face. Let me see that you have something on your mind and you want to bring to my attention. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this live stream as I jump in to answer some of your guys' questions. Let's see. Extreme Plays says, a long time ago you helped me get my crush to like me, and she did, so we started dating, but she broke up with me a week ago. How do I get over her? So Extreme Plays, I'm happy that I helped you in that stage of getting closer to your crush. You guys broke up, which sucks, but it's something that happens. It's part of life. People aren't always meant to be together, and things don't always work out. So how do you get over someone that you've kind of broken up with? Well, I think there's a few key steps. The first one is you might have gotten used to the idea of the two of you being together. So now it's like you have to unlearn that type of lifestyle. The idea of okay, I can't talk to her every single day. I can't think about her or contact her. You have to kind of shift your mind away from her. The best way to do that, one, I would say, is to be reflective on the relationship. Ask yourself, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Being reflective allows you to kind of come to grips, come to reality with the fact that it's over. A lot of times people don't want to think about what went wrong or why it didn't work out because they have this hope that maybe things will change, maybe they'll take me back. But if you really sit and think about the relationship and think, okay, you know what? Maybe I wasn't as interactive, or maybe I was too nervous, and that's something I want to work on for the next relationship. You now start thinking forward. You start thinking about what you can do in the future to change things up. That's the first piece. The second piece is try to spend more time with your friends, with your family, with people you care about. A lot of times when you're in a relationship with someone, they kind of fill up a gap that maybe before was filled with other people, and now that attention and time went to them. Well, they're no longer there, so now you need to kind of fill that gap in time and attention with other people you care about. So try to rekindle friendships. Talk to friends you haven't talked to in a while. Hang out with your friends more. Spend more time doing the things you love and your hobbies, playing video games, watching movies, anything that you enjoy doing. Try to dedicate a little bit more time to that. I think if you follow those 2 steps, kind of reflecting on the relationship and then also just going deeper into what you like and spending time with people you like, you'll be able to get over her. I'm going to jump into the next question here. Let's see. Justin says, hey, Josh, is confidence the key to get ahead in life? So, Justin, here's the thing. Confidence is one element of learning how to be your best self. When I talk about building confidence and even in your question, the key to getting ahead in life, to be confident in yourself is to believe that you have the ability to figure out what you need to do. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to figure it out and it's going to work out. That doesn't mean everything is going to go your way. But you believe that no matter what comes your way, you're going to figure it out. You're going to find a way through. And I think that's the key there. Confidence, I think, is an element of building a life where you really are being your best self. I think, to me, the 3 core components of being your best self come down to being confident, believing in your ability to succeed and to find a way through, to be mindful, to be reflective of your own behavior and your own actions, and to think about how things affect you. Someone said something to me. Does that hurt my feelings? Do I understand my feelings? Can I connect with my feelings? Confidence, mindfulness, and the next step, I believe, is compassion. How do you interact with the world around you? Are you aware of how you treat others? Are you aware of how you speak to others? Are you aware of how you influence others? All those 3 pieces, I think, are going to help you work towards being your best self. And I think confidence plays a huge, huge role in that. YOLO Jesse and Shaggy says, I talked to my crush today. She walked away and started flirting with some other dude. Yep. I mean, here's the thing you have to kind of understand, that as long as your crush is just your crush, they're probably going to talk to other people. They're probably going to flirt with other people. They're probably going to enjoy the idea of, like, you know what, let me get to know a lot of other people and see who I connect with the best. Now, if you truly want to get with your crush, one, you need to accept that, like, they're a person who has the free will to do and talk to whoever they want. If seeing them flirt with someone else kind of makes you feel jealous or upset, well, then all that means is that you have to step it up. You need to talk to your crush more. You need to ask them out. You need to start taking the next action steps and getting closer to them rather than hoping that they're not interacting with someone else. You can't change that. But what you can change is what you're willing to put into it. And that might mean, oh, wow, she's talking to that person more. You know what? Let me ask her out. Let me see if we can go on a date together, because on a date, you guys will be one-on-one. And now you're taking it to the next level where now your crush might say, you know what? I want to focus on this one person instead of the 5 or 6 other people that I'm talking to right now, and I want to pursue them. So that's how you kind of start to lock them down to get them to feel like, okay, well, we can be in a relationship together. Let's see. I'm looking through here. Jacqueline says, how do you get a random girl in the streets to get in bed with you? Okay, Jacqueline, I'm going to tackle that question here. I think it's an interesting question. So here's what I would say, guys. If you want to if your goal is to just have casual sex, you want to just meet people, connect with them, and just have sex without the desire of any kind of relationship or anything like that. Your goal is to just meet someone and have it lead to that. I think what you need to do is you need to recognize that the majority of people you interact with are not going to be up for that. And that's something that we're not taught really. Like, the media kind of makes it seem like, oh, you can just meet a random person, flirt with them, and then boom, you get them in your bed. And that happens. That does happen. But it's not the norm. The norm is that people are more reserved. People are more aware, are more conscious of who they want to be around and who they want to be intimate with. So if your goal is to kind of just do that, you need to recognize that you're probably going to get rejected more times than you're actually going to have success. I'll tell you guys a quick funny story here. So one of my friends said that he tried this out as an experiment. He said that, and this was years and years ago, that he decided he was going to go, he went to like a club or something, and he's like, I'm going to walk up to every girl that I see, and I'm just going to ask her, hey, how you doing? My name's so-and-so. Do you want to bang? And he's like, I want to see how many girls are actually going to say yes. Now, looking back on it, it's like, it's kind of a disrespectful thing to do, to walk up to someone and be like, you want to bang? It's like, dude, get out of my face. I can understand that. But the majority of girls did that exact thing to him. He had drinks thrown in his face. He had girls curse him out. He had one of the girls' boyfriends threaten to beat him up. Like, he had a lot more failure, but he did have one success in that experiment. One girl was down and he hooked up with her and did whatever with her. But he almost got beat up for the process. So you need to really ask yourself, like, one, how ballsy are you going to be with that? And two, you need to ask yourself, like, are you ready to handle the rejection that's going to come with that? Now, like I said, I think that if your goal is just to kind of get with someone just instantly and just like, I want to bed them and that's it, well, then I think you need to have confidence turn to like a 50, meaning you are all about showsmanship. You need to have something to present to someone, I think. Like being a rock star, being a musician, being a comedian, I think gives you those higher roles. Like having something where you are of a higher status generally would lead to that. But like I said, for the average person, they're not really looking for that. They're looking for someone that they can connect with. So you need to be ready for more failure than success. All right, let me move on to more questions. I don't want to spend too long on one because I tend to do that a little bit. Let's see. James says, Josh, how to talk to some girl I've been looking at for a while who I don't know without seeming weird? That's a good question, James. If there's a girl that you want to talk to, you've been looking at, but you don't want to seem weird, the sooner you talk to her, the better. Because the longer you wait where you guys kind of make casual eye contact or, like she sees you looking at her and then you look away, the longer that happens, the more she's going to think you're weird. Because she's going to say, like, why isn't this guy talking to me? Why isn't this guy interacting with me? Why isn't this guy kind of approaching me? So the sooner you act on it, the easier it's going to be. Now, how do you act on it? That's a good question. If you're thinking that, I would say that the way I would kind of approach that is walk up to her and ask her something that's relative to what's going on. So if you're in school, if you're in class, if you're doing something that's, like related to the area or you're there for something, like let's say you're there at school, you might want to ask her like, hey, what do you think about this class? What do you think about this teacher? Hey, did you do the homework yet? Hey, you know what? I'm trying to get a study group together and stuff, like what's your Instagram? Let me add you to it. That's a good way to kind of jump into it. Use what's relative around you and what's going on to kind of start that initial conversation. And the sooner you do it, the better. Let's see. Imani says, this guy I just met said, I wish we could cuddle in my bed. Does he like me? Imani, I think that one thing you do want to be aware of is that sometimes people will say things and do things to try to get you to kind of follow their lead. And like, not the stereotype, but guys are kind of notoriously known for doing this. They will say and they will sweet talk and they'll say all these things so they can get whatever they want from the girl. And look, girls do it to guys too, definitely. But I think that you just have to kind of be aware. If a person you kind of barely know is already saying that type of stuff to you, one, that's a huge red flag. Because you have to ask yourself, whoa, I don't know this person. Like, if you're dating this person, let's say, and or like you've gone on a few dates or you guys you've shared some kind of romantic moment, like maybe you've kissed or maybe you've hung out or maybe, anything like that. But if there's someone you've just been talking to casually and they're saying that, that's a red flag. I'd probably stay away from them. Grayson says, Josh, when would be a good time to ask your crush to spend the night? That's an interesting question, Grayson. I think that part of that comes down to what your parents will be comfortable with and what their parents will be comfortable with. And here's what I mean by that. So, Grayson, I know you're younger. So I think that when it comes to your crush spending the night, you might mean like, oh, just hang out, spend the night, sleep over and stuff. But the parents might not see it like that. The parents might not be comfortable with that. And I think that even if you are 16 years old, 17 years old, I don't know a lot of parents that would be totally comfortable with like, oh yeah, just let your crush sleep over. It's one thing to be like, hey, have your crush come over and hang out during the day. But parents are a lot more weary and kind of reserved when it comes to someone sleeping over because they don't know what can happen. They don't know what's going to happen there. So I think when it comes to sleeping over, probably not until you're a lot older. But I think if it's a matter of having your crush hang out at your house or spend time there, I think that's totally fine. Just talk to your parents about it. Let's see. Drain says, Josh, what do I do when my crush is not interested in dating right now? That's a good question, Drain. So if your crush is not interested in dating right now and they just kind of want to be single, they kind of want to just relax and enjoy things for themselves, not really have the pressure of a relationship, that's totally fine. Not everyone is in a place where they want to date. Some people enjoy just casual conversations or casual dates or casually hanging out or even casually hooking up with people. I think the important thing is to respect that that's where they are, and to just focus more on, you know what, I'm going to spend time to get to know them better, to talk to them, to interact with them. The more I think that you do that, the more I think that you kind of really just get to know them better and form a connection with them, the easier it might be for them to change their mind. Because sometimes people may feel like where I stand right now, I'm not ready for a relationship, I'm not really looking for a relationship, but as your connection with them develops, they may change their mind. They may turn around and go, you know what? I wasn't looking for a relationship, but I feel like we get along so well that I'm open to the idea. So give it time and get to know them better. Donna says, most parents would be thrilled that you'd be strong enough to confess an addiction to them. Oh, I must have missed the question about addiction here, but I agree. I agree with what Donna's saying there. I think that I wish I can figure out what question it was, but if you're someone that is dealing with an addiction of any kind, and you're hiding it from your parents, here's the thing, guys. It's like there's always a fear of being honest because you're afraid that if you tell your parents what's going on or you share that with them, then they may get upset with you or they may yell at you. And oh, hold on, guys. I got a super chat from Garrett. Garrett, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I truly, truly appreciate it. Garrett said, I was going to commit suicide, then I found your channel. So you truly saved my life. I am forever in your debt. Garrett, that means so much to me. But I don't think the focus should be on me. I think the focus should be on you here. Because yes, you found my channel and yes, watch my videos and I'm happy that I'm helpful. But the fact of the matter is this, is that you had the strength to tell yourself, you know what? I deserve more. I'm worthy. I matter. And that's the real focus here, Garrett. I think you should recognize that yes, there may have been times where you didn't feel that way, times where you felt down on yourself or that nothing would work out for you or that you weren't good enough. But I hope that if you've taken anything from my videos, it's that you do matter. You do have something to offer to this world. You can be somebody great. It's something I constantly say all the time because I really do believe it. I think that, Garrett, if you ever feel in that situation, you ever feel like you're in a situation where you don't have any control or any hope, and this is something you just need to do, the best thing you can ever do is to talk to someone, to share your thoughts, to open up. And this is something that we're afraid, like I was saying before, we're afraid to do. We're afraid to be honest and to put ourselves out there because we're afraid we're going to get rejected. We're afraid people are going to belittle us. They're going to downplay what we're talking about. Oh, it's not that serious. Oh, you'll get over it. People sometimes don't take the things that we're talking about as seriously because they don't understand the hardships that you're really going through. But I want you to know, Garrett, that I get where you're coming from. I know it's tough and I know it's easy. And I know it's not easy to be in a situation like that. So I applaud you, Garrett, because I think you're the real hero here, not me, man. And I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're part of our community. I'm happy that you can interact in the chat, man. It makes me so happy knowing that I can just be a part of your life in some way and be a part of, the positive aspect of it. So thank you so much, Garrett, for the $5 super chat. It really does mean a lot to me, man. Let's see. I'm going to jump in and answer some more. The last of Scrub said, should I go after my crush if she has a male friend because he could change his mind in the future? So if your crush has male friends, female friends, whatever it may be, they have friends of another gender that they hang out with, that they spend time with, you might feel jealous. You might feel like, oh, well, this other guy's kind of sticking, rubbing it into my face, kind of he's in the limelight and I'm not. If you're in a situation like that, the best thing to do is this. It's that if you really like this girl, the fact that she has friends isn't your obstacle. What your obstacle is you taking the time to get to know that girl better. When we talk about confidence here, I think that the best way to put your confidence on display is to act. Now, you may like someone, you may feel a certain kind of way, you may want to confess your love for them, but acting on it is, I think, showcasing your feelings is a better way to kind of manage the situation than to just tell your feelings. Because when you just tell someone how you feel, hey, I like you, You leave it open for them to decide, do I like you, do I not like you? But if you show them how you feel, you now are in a situation where, hey, this guy's actively talking with me. He's flirting with me. He's asking me to hang out. He wants to know more about me. Like, those actions are the ones that are going to stick out in their minds, and it's going to help them connect with you a whole lot better. So I think that that's really where your mind should go when it comes to getting closer to that girl. The fact that she has guy friends and they flirt with her and they're doing the same thing, that's fine. You can one-up them just by really interacting with her a whole lot more. That's really the key takeaway. Mimic says, all right, Josh, so this girl I'm talking to asked to hang out. I said I couldn't because I had to babysit. And so I asked if she wanted to hang out Friday. She hasn't opened the message yet. It's been 3 days. Okay. So you've kind of just been left on hold there, Mimic. You don't really know where you stand. Well, here's the thing. If you guys were talking about hanging out together, but nothing kind of came to fruition, nothing was really solid, I think that where you should go from here is this. It's that message her again. Clearly, that's going to be the next step. And just kind of set up new plans. Set up a new plan to talk to her. Because she probably forgot, right? Like, she probably just got distracted and went on with other things. And if you're waiting for her to kind of come back to the message and make plans again, well, then you're going to be waiting for a while. It's on you now to kind of just message her and say, hey, listen, I really do want to hang out with you. What about this day? Message her again. Or if she doesn't respond to the messages, or she hasn't even like looked at them, try to talk to her in school if you can. Sometimes it's like constantly messaging someone when they're not responding actually hurts your chances. It makes you look desperate. It kind of shows them like, wow, this person like they just sent me a barrage of messages. It doesn't look good when there's a whole wall of messages from one person. So instead, if you have to, try talking to her in person. Let's see. Jake says, what is the best thing to say to my crush that I told you about? Yeah, Jake. So when it comes to talking to your crush, and this goes for any of you guys too, if you're ever in a situation where conversations kind of fall flat and it's like what do I say? How do I keep a conversation going with them? One thing I always recommend is my icebreaker conversation starters. So my icebreakers, guys, I'll share the link for you guys in here. If you go to the joshspeaks.com/icebreakers, if you go to the joshspeaks.com/icebreakers, those are 20 conversation starters that I've put together that you can kind of bring into a conversation if you feel like things are running flat. These are different kinds of questions that are just fun and interesting things to talk about. And I would recommend checking them out, trying them out in conversation. So, Jake, I think you've downloaded the icebreakers before. I think finding ones that you like, ones that you feel fit with your personality might be the way to kind of integrate them into conversation. And Anthony shared the link to the Discord there, guys. I'll take a second here to talk about Discord. So one of my goals for 2020 is really to just grow our community. I think that we have multiple pockets of communities. There's a community here that joins the YouTube live streams. There's a community that's formed in the Instagram after party. But I'd say the biggest community we have, the icebreakers are free, Joey. It's a free guide I've put together. All you got to do is sign up. It's like name and email, I think set it up as. And it's just a PDF guide. But the biggest community we've built so far and that we're building is on Discord. Now, the reason why I love Discord and I love the community that we're building there is that we have an awesome group of moderators and just friends, I think, that are open to helping each other out, are open to carrying conversation and just being friendly with each other. So, like, sometimes I've sat back and just watched conversations unfold, and it's like the willingness of people to help one another, to me, is such an amazing thing. And I think that when you take time to help someone else out, they feel good and you feel good, but that's not all. The people watching you two interact also feel good. You got to understand this, guys. Kindness has a ripple effect. Kindness is not just an isolated thing. If I do something kind for someone, it's not just, oh, I did something kind and that's it. Both of us are walking away feeling good, and everyone that watched us is walking away feeling good. Have you guys ever seen one of those random videos where it's like, oh, this person jumps into like a lake to help a dog out or something like that? Don't you feel good watching that? And it's like, you didn't do anything. You didn't jump in the lake. You just watched the video. But observing people be kind to each other makes you feel better too. And that's one of the the best things I think about the Discord community that we have. It's that observing people helping each other and communicating and being friends is going to make you feel like, wow, this is a place where I can connect with people. This is a place where I can be understood. So that's what I wanted to say, guys. Anthony shared the link to the Discord in there. And it's growing every single day, guys. I love it. I think it's such an awesome community, and I'd love for each and every single one of you to be a part of it. All right, that is my Discord pitch. I want to get back to some questions in here, guys. Jake says, I tried the icebreakers. I can't access my screen reader. No problem, Jake. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all the information in it, and I'll send it to you in an email. It'll be a text email, and you could probably read it from there. I didn't realize that the PDF wasn't working. Maybe it's something with the way that it's set up, but I got you, Jake. I'm going to help you out. All right, let's see. Let's get some more questions in here, guys. Phoenix says, we need a group debate. On the left, Don Lemon, AOC, and Cenk Uygur. On the right, Ben Shapiro, Dinesh D'Souza, and Jordan Peterson. Gosh. Jordan Peterson, man. It's great. That would be a SmackDown. That'd be an interesting debate. I feel like it'd just be everyone yelling a lot. Not really on the left. I don't think Don Lemon. Yeah, actually, it'd be Ben Shapiro yelling a lot, Dinesh D'Souza yelling a lot, and Cenk Uygur. Yeah, Cenk yells a lot. Those would be the people yelling. Everyone else would be pretty civil and quiet. All right, back to questions. SV says, Josh, this girl has been texting me for 3 weeks straight, and we used to flirt, but she hasn't texted me in 6 days. She also stopped talking to me at school. Okay, so you guys were texting for 3 weeks straight, but then 6 days have passed and it's kind of gone flatlined. Well, here's the thing I've talked about in the past. I talked about the texting bell curve, as I kind of call it. And what I mean by the texting bell curve is this. If you're texting someone, right, and the conversation's going well, and you guys are flirting and joking and stuff, there's a point where, like, you're going to hit the peak of texting where that person is just constantly responding, constantly interactive. They're waiting for your message. They're just super excited. But after that point, it starts to dip, and it starts to get repetitive, and it starts to get boring and lose its luster. Now, why does that happen? Why does texting someone start to get boring after a while, right? It's like you would think like we can keep texting and it's great forever, but you have to kind of recognize that when you're texting someone, it needs to transition to something else. It needs to transition to hanging out in person. It needs to transition to getting a group together, doing something. A lot of people stay in the texting trap where they feel comfortable with it. It's easy to text them, right? It's not easy to ask them to hang out. It's not easy to spend time with them in person. I think that, that's where you need to kind of take it. If you don't head in that direction where, okay, like, wow, we're at the peak of texting where we're constantly responding to each other. This is when I need to ask them to hang out. You might want to say something like, you're so much fun to talk to. We got to get together sometime. Let's do it this Friday. Let's go to the movies this Friday. Let's meet up after school this Friday. You need to take it to something new so that the texting remains fresh. And guess what? If you've been texting for a while and now you've hung out in person, texting now becomes fun again because now you have something new to text them about. You kind of started a new chain to work with. So that's the direction I would take it. Atlanta Boy says, so AOC wouldn't yell, Josh? I don't think she'd yell. From what I've seen in her debates and discussions and stuff, a panel she's been on, she doesn't really seem like a yeller. Cenk Uygur yells. He yells all the time. But she doesn't really seem like a yeller, I'd say, from the things I've seen her talking. Same thing with Jordan Peterson. Like, yes, there are times where he gets passionate, but he doesn't really yell. He's not really a yeller. All right, back to more questions. Mag Life says, hey Josh, I'm doing well in school, but once those regions come, my confidence might feel low. And I don't know if let me read this again. Sorry, I messed it up. Hey Josh, I'm doing well in school, but once those regions come, my confidence might feel low. And I don't know if I'll do them. I'm aware of the consequences, but it's not decided yet. I hear you on that. Look, regions are just a total drain. They're incredibly challenging at times. They're stressful, they're just extra tests you have to study for. But here's the thing. It's like when it comes to the regions, I think one of the best things you can try to do is to form a study group. Now, a lot of times the regions are kind of like, they're centralized on the topics. They're not the easiest thing to study in general for, but if you're sometimes in classes, they'll practice and like your class will do practice for the regents, or sometimes schools will offer practice for the regents exams. I think that that's the best direction. If you feel stressed and overwhelmed by anything, guys, here's the thing, guys. If anything you're dealing with in school is stressful or overwhelming, doesn't matter if it's a class, doesn't matter if it's a test, a project, anything, there are always ways to kind of get extra learning advantages. That might mean tutoring. That might mean forming a study group with other people in your class. That might mean reaching out to your teacher to see if they can kind of like give you more material, more practice material. There's always an opportunity to work on your grades, to work on your schooling. It might mean stepping outside of the natural, go to class, listen to the teacher, go home. It might mean stepping out and like finding another source to teach you. But there's always an opportunity. And regents are no different. Regents are just other exams you have to take. And the best thing you can do to prepare yourself really is by, like I said, getting a tutor or forming a study group. I feel are two key ways to kind of really work on feeling more confident in those situations and preparing for those exams. Let's see. Clegger says, me and my crush have been talking and flirting, and I don't want to mess up our friendship, but I'm not 100% sure she likes me. We hang up on ourselves a lot. What do you think I should do? So you and your crush are flirting, but you don't want to mess up the friendship. So here's the thing, Clegger. I get where you're coming from. I totally get it. But at some point, you're going to have to make the decision. Do you want to pursue them romantically, or do you want to just remain friends? And that's a scary decision to make, because what if you make the wrong one, right? What if you do something, or you go for a kiss and she rejects you? Or what if, you just don't do anything and she tells you you're like a brother to me? Either way, inactivity is going to be your downfall. So you need to be active in one direction. You need to decide for yourself. If this is a person that you want to pursue, if she's someone you want to get to know, someone that you want to potentially date, it might make sense to flirt in a way that you maybe make a move, or you kind of let her know that, wow, you're really cool. I really, really want to, get to know you better. Like, establishing that you want to take things to the next level is going to be the differentiator. That's what's going to pull you out of inactivity and make you active. Now, look, the sooner you know whether or not she wants to get to know you better or likes you in that sense, the better it's going to be. A lot of times we're afraid to rip off the Band-Aid and find out, because it might mean that she doesn't like you and things are awkward now and you don't know how to deal with it. But isn't it better to know that your crush, doesn't like you, rather than continuously investing time and effort and energy into trying to make them like you, or hoping that one day they'll turn around and say that they do? Isn't it better to spend your time pursuing someone that you could potentially date? That's the question I would ask. Let's see. Jump in and answer some more questions in here. Let's see. Sambuddha Ranabat says, hey, my crush tells her friends that she doesn't like me or shows interest in me. She literally touches me all the time and plays around, but she tells her friends something else. I tried ignoring her. Interesting. So I ignored her today, made less eye contact, and I don't know what to do. All right, so here's the thing, that if your crush, it sounds like to me like your crush is giving you mixed signals. Now, I'm going to do a chat poll here because I haven't done one yet. And I'm curious, guys, yes or no? I want every single one of you watching right now to answer this question. Does your crush ever give you mixed signals where you're just like, do they like me? Do they not? Or they just see me as a friend? Why are they flirting with me? Have you ever got mixed signals before? I used to get them all the time from all the crushes I've ever had. So that's just the case. But what do you do about it? Your crush is telling their friends, I don't like this guy, but you feel like it's something different. Well, here's the thing. What you should go most on is how you and your crush interact with each other, what your crush says to you. Yes, your crush may say to their friends, oh, I don't really like him, but if she's interacting with you in a way where you feel like she likes you, I would pursue her with the intention of maybe she does like me. It's not until she tells you directly, hey, I don't like you, I only see you as a friend, that I think you should kind of hold off. Because a lot of times people may not tell their friends how they truly feel because they're embarrassed, or they don't want their friends to spread rumors, or they don't want their friends to make fun of them. A lot of people downplay their crushes and their feelings in front of their friends because they feel like their friends are going to kind of tease them for it. And, that's why you shouldn't always take the, oh no, but the friends say that she doesn't like me as the gospel. I asked you guys, have you ever gotten mixed signals from your crush? Let's see what you had to say. Dark Knight Detective says no. Mimic says yes. Clay says yes. Strat says yes. Arrow, not really. Drain says yes. Bert says yes. King says yes. Grayson, maybe. Clegger says yes. Jake says yes. Imani says yes. I need help with him. I hear you, Imani. I get where you're coming from. Rage says, yeah, I guess. Nija, yes. Phoenix, bruh. My question was mixed signals. Getting them right now. I hear you on that, Phoenix. Like I said, if you're getting mixed signals, the best way to kind of work through it is to ask your crush out. Because if you're waiting in this kind of like limbo where you're not really sure where they stand, you'll get a definite answer once you ask them out. You'll know where they stand once you kind of make plans with them one-on-one. Bert says, just wing it. Dark Tar Official says, yes, all the time. My crush said I'm sweet and genuine on the phone, but at the same time, she said she sees me as a friend. Dark Tar, yeah, here's the thing you got to recognize, guys. Sometimes your crush will say things that can come off as flirty, like, oh, you're so sweet, oh, you're so awesome, oh, I love you, you're the best. But they may still see you as a friend because in their mind, those type of phrases are friendly phrases, right? She says that or he says that to their friends, and that's just how they interact with them. So if you don't want to be in the friend zone, if you want to be in a place where you're able to pursue someone that you can potentially date, you need to know when to kind of move on. A lot of people stay hung up on one crush or one person that they like, and that's it, They it's hard for them to kind of pursue other people because they're so singularly focused. I call that one-itis. That person has one-itis. That's the only person on their mind. It's the only person they think they can pursue. It's the only one that they want to spend any time on. So you have to get over that one-itis, and the best way to do that is to go talk to other people, make other friends, spend time with other people, flirt with other people. That's how you're going to put yourself out there. Grayson says, Josh, how do I quit getting mad at games and stop raging? Grayson, this is a really good question. Sometimes when you're playing games and you're gaming with people and you lose, it can be frustrating. It could totally like bring you down, make you upset. My solution to this, guys, thank you so much, Donald, for sharing the Discord again. Thank you so much for being a part of it and being such a helpful part of the community. Guys, like Donald said, check out the Discord. So when it comes to dealing with kind of game rage, in a sense, and funny as Goosebumps, I did a video on this a long time ago, how to deal with game rage. But my advice now would be this, that instead of seeing that as an opportunity to get upset, use those as moments to kind of actually pull back in. So here's what happens. Let's say you die and you're about to yell. Before you yell, you might want to do something. Create a ritual for yourself. And that ritual might be, you know what? I'm going to clap my hands together. I'm going to take a deep breath. So every time you want to like yell, just clap and breathe. I mean, I just made that up right now, but like create a ritual for yourself so you can redirect. Instead of getting angry, you have something else to do. Like if you have a meditation bell or something like that, or you might just say, every time I want to get upset, I'm going to, I'm holding the bell, so it's not going to, you can do that and just ring the bell or something along the lines where you're redirecting where your anger goes. And it's better that you direct that anger into something positive, like taking a deep breath, because that's also going to help you cool down a bit. And here's the thing about anger, guys. Anger, the cortisol in your body kind of rushes to the top of your head when you're angry, right? When you get upset with something, you just kind of like, it's the first 90 seconds after you've gotten angry, like at the moment you get angry, it's the first 90 seconds that are going to determine how you feel later and how you react. So for 90 seconds, the best thing you can do is to focus on your breathing, is to close your eyes, is to calm yourself. Because what's going to happen is that 90 seconds of all the chemicals rushing is going to start to slow down, and you're going to start to feel calmer, you're going to start to feel more relaxed. And you can actually beat the negative and anger response that's about to happen. And you can do that by taking the moment to kind of redirect it. So that's what I would recommend. And Atlanta Boy said that he, deals with game rage as well. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do. Like, I know a lot of people that get very upset during video games or when they die or whatever may happen. So create a ritual for yourself on how to deal with that. One thing I do whenever I feel frustrated or something's not working is I stand up, I put my arms out, and I just stretch. I try to stretch as much as I can. And like, that's my ritual for dealing with anger. I'll stand up, I'll stretch. one, it's good for your body to always get up every so often and stretch, but it allows me to kind of redirect getting upset into something else. So I stretch, I get it out of my system, and then I sit back down and I go back to what I need to do. So create your own kind of system for dealing with that type of stuff. Let's jump back and answer some more questions here. Dark Tar says, do you believe in the ideology that we shouldn't flirt with the sole intention of trying to feel good? That's a good question, Dark Tar. Is there anything wrong with flirting just to kind of feel good about yourself? Well, I would say that I personally think it's totally fine to flirt just to kind of feel better. Now, people in the past have said, oh, but you're leading someone on, you're misleading them. But here's the thing, guys. Flirting can mean a lot of different things. Flirting can mean just complimenting someone. Flirting can be just telling someone they look good. Really what it comes down to is not so much the flirting piece, but how you carry it forward and keep it going. Now, if you're walking up to a girl, let's say, and you're flirting with her, and you're like, you look really cute today. And now you notice this girl's into you, and you continuously talk to her, continuously flirt with her, knowing that she probably likes you, but you have no intention of bringing it anywhere, and you haven't told her or established, hey, by the way, I think you're cool, I see you more as a friend. If you haven't established that, then I think you're misleading her, and it can kind of go sour because you might end up hurting someone in the end. But I think just casually flirting, just to feel better about yourself, just to have someone to interact with, is totally fine. I think that people like hearing that they look nice or like hearing compliments, and I don't see anything wrong with sharing that with others. Let's see. Swipey says, there's this woman student named JoJo in my college. How should I approach her? Swipey, okay. So for any of you guys that are in high school or college, or there's just someone in your class or someone that you see that you want to interact with, well, what do you do about that? Well, here's what I would say. Imani, I'm going to answer your question about the cuddle guy in a second, but when it comes to talking to a girl in college, one thing that I've learned about college is that over the years, it's like one easy question to ask anyone in college is, hey, what's your major? What are you studying? Why are you taking this class? Is it part of your major? Are you just interested in it? I think that's the direction you need to take, Swipey. Talk to her about school, see what she's doing there, what she's studying, what she's working towards. And then you can direct it away and be like, what else do you like to do for fun? What are some of your hobbies? I feel like that's the best way to approach someone in college. College is such a perfect environment to start with a lead-in question like, hey, what's your major? What are you studying? I know because I saw it happen all the time. Back when I was in college, I saw guys approach girls. I've shared the story in the past that there was a girl in my class that I liked, and I would stare at her every single day, just sit there and a few rows behind her, just gawk at her. And some guy came in at the beginning of the semester, sat down right next to her, and is like, hey, how you doing? Why are you taking this class? Oh, what's your major? And he started talking to her. Swiper, no swiping. Started talking to her, and they eventually started going out. And I just sat there a few rows back and watched the whole process unfold. So that, to me, is the easiest way to jump into a conversation, ask about her major. Now, Amani asked about the cuddle guy. Amani, like I said, it all depends on how well you know this guy. If the guy is saying he wants to cuddle with you and you're not close with him, you've never hung out with him before, your parents don't know much about him, then I'd see that as a red flag. I'd be very wary of it. Imani, I think the best thing I would recommend for you to do is to talk to your parents about it. Tell your parents, hey, there's this guy I'm talking to, and, he wants to hang out with me. Are you guys okay with it? Do you want to meet him first? I think that's probably the best and safest thing to do because, you like I said, you never know if people are saying things just to try to get you to do whatever they want. So you kind of always have to be cautious of that. And when I jump in and answer some more questions, guys, I do want to say this. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video. We're at 33 likes. Let's see if we can get this to 50 likes. And one more thing I want to share here is that right after this live stream, I'm going to be jumping over on Instagram for what I call the Instagram after party. What is the Instagram after party? I'm sure none of you asked because you all know what it is. Basically, if you're following me over on Instagram, just trying to get without glare, head on over my profiles, The Josh Speaks. Follow me after this live stream. It'll be another live stream just like this, but that one's going to be a little bit more laid back. I like to bring you guys on so we can do the dual video calls on there. And it's one of the best ways to kind of just jump on and video chat with me if you're not someone that is follow me over on Patreon. Patreon is also another wonderful way to kind of communicate with me. I just had my Patreon call with Jake. Jake was in here in the chat. He was on here earlier. I think he's still on here. I'm not sure. But what I do with my patrons is there's different tier levels. And at the $10 champion tier level, every single month, you and me, we could sit down. We can have a video chat for half an hour and just kind of talk about what's going on in your life, come up with a game plan. I like to write out notes after our call so that we can figure out like, okay, what do you want to do going forward? So far, the people I've talked to, it's been a great way for them to kind of have someone to talk to and share things with. And also it's just good to check in and kind of, see where you are in life. Did you pursue what you talked about last month? Where did you fall down? Where did you struggle? What can you improve? So I think that's a good direction to take. Look into Patreon. At my Patreon's the Josh Speaks as well. But yeah, so check those things out, guys. Like I said, after this Instagram after party. All right, let's answer some more questions in here. Atlanta Boy says AOC should be fired. I don't think she should be fired. I think from the things I've read and I've seen, she's been doing a lot for her community, the district that she's in. She's introduced a lot of food programs for people that are struggling with food stamps there. I know she's helped a lot of immigrant communities work towards getting jobs and stuff. That's one of the big struggles, I think, with people that are non-native English speakers, that they struggle with communicating or finding work. So she's been helping them kind of learn English more so that they can interact better and also find opportunities to work. So from the things I've read, she's been doing well in her district. So I don't really see a problem with AOC there. Let's see. FXS says, where am I supposed to meet new people my age? That's a good question, FXS. That's hard to say really quickly. How old are you? Tell me what your age is, write it in the chat so I can kind of give you a better indication of where you can meet people your age. Emma, always a pleasure to have you in here, Emma Peterson. Let's see. YT Landstalker says, please help. I've been struggling with confidence and second guessing for years. Any way I can develop a shoot first, ask questions later type of swag so I don't got to worry about second guessing myself anymore. Yeah, here's the thing, YT. The best way that you can kind of work on your confidence is by trying, understanding when you fail, and then moving forward. There's no way that you can kind of preemptively practice confidence. You need to kind of live the confidence in order to get better at it. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing you're talking about, like shoot first, ask questions later. I think the best way to do that and kind of work towards that type of lifestyle is whenever there's something you want to do, whenever there's someone you want to talk to, go for it. You either win or you learn. Things work out for you, or if they don't, look at that as a learning experience. Here's the thing, guys. When it comes to talking to 14, 15. All right, I'll answer your question, FXS, in a second. When it comes to kind of building that confidence for yourself, like I said, I think that you need to recognize that life is going to bring you failure and struggle, and that's a normal part of life. But that's okay, because even though times will be challenging and you'll run into difficult moments, they can be learning experiences. Even for myself, like thinking back to all the times I messed up with my crushes, or I was too nervous, or things just didn't work out, or any of those type of things. Looking back at it now, I realize that they were learning experiences for me. I reflect on it now, and through all the experience that I've gained over the years, they helped shape me into who I am, which I think is what is the case with you too. If you want to work on building that confidence, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Whenever you're in a situation where there's something you want to do, count down from 3. It's the 3-second rule. Just casually yawns. I yawn a lot. I just ate oatmeal right before this live stream, so I feel like I'm like burping a lot and yawning a lot. It happens. I think I'm pretty confident I could beat Donald Trump in the 2020 election. I don't have millions of dollars to jump in like Bloomberg, but I'm pretty sure I could win. Anyway, yeah, and that's what I would say is the key to really building that confidence. It's recognizing that, yes, there will be trouble, yes, there will be failures, but they're learning experiences you can grow from. Let's see, Ridge Napier says, the truth is attractiveness is different to everyone. There was a person I recall who was turned on by watching his wife eat food. She was hundreds and hundreds of pounds, so yes, there's someone for everyone. Yeah, here's the thing, guys. We all have different interests, right? not everyone likes the same type of person, right? Like it could be something as simple as your physical appearance, right? Like some people like people that are bigger. Sometimes people like people that are taller. Sometimes people like people that are fit or more athletic. Sometimes people like writers, people that are more intellectually stimulating. We're all so different and we're all so unique in our own way. And it's important to recognize that the uniqueness that you bring to the table, the you that you bring to the table is all you have. Like that's you. And first step is accepting yourself, recognizing that, yeah, this is me. This is what I like to do. This is what I enjoy. And if you encounter people that don't get it, don't understand it, are going to tear you down for it, then those aren't the people that you should be connecting with. Those aren't the people that are for you. So it's better to put yourself out there, to find new people, to interact, to not be scared, to put yourself out there in a way where you can be your honest self. Because it's only in being your honest self that you're going to encounter people that are going to accept you and learn to love you for who you are. Let's see. Jalen says, she is in my mind all the time, but hopefully she will break up with her boyfriend. Yeah, here's the thing, Jalen. I think when it comes to, I see Andozoid's question. What's the best way to gain confidence and social skills as a high schooler? I want to answer that one here, guys. Copa, I think it's called. I'm going to answer Copa after. So when it comes to making friends in high school, or just kind of being more popular, being more liked, feeling more comfortable with yourself, it's like high school, you're going to be going through a lot of weird stages. Maybe you're getting taller, maybe your voice is getting deeper, maybe things are growing, changing in areas that you're like, oh, okay, this is awkward. You're going to kind of enter that awkward stage of life where you're kind of growing. And I would say the best way to be more comfortable and confident in high school, to kind of just be more okay with who you are, is to recognize the one simple truth. Everyone else is in the same boat that you are. This is not something we always think about, but it's true. Every other person in high school is also growing and learning and developing. And some people may be better at hiding it or pretending like, oh yeah, like I'm totally comfortable. But they're also feeling awkward and nervous and shy. And you have to remember that you're not alone in that experience. Now, does that mean that your shyness goes away? No. But it's important to recognize that other people are also feeling this way too. Because the moment you start to recognize that other people might also be shy and nervous, it allows you now to not be reactive, but to be active. Because here's what I've learned. When you feel shy and awkward in a moment, you want someone else to kind of make it easier for you, right? Like if I'm shy around someone, I'm hoping that they talk to me because I'm shy. Hopefully they start the conversation, right? Now, if you recognize that everyone else around you is also shy, you know that if you start the conversation with them, they're going to be so grateful and they're going to be so happy that you did that. So like I said, you're approaching it from an active position where you know, wow, that person's nervous and what they need right now is for me to talk to them. Because when I talk to them, they're going to feel a sense of relief. So you're taking the power in that situation. In my mind, that's the best thing you can do as a high schooler. The kids that I see become popular and succeed are the ones who do that because they're the ones making life easier for others by starting the interactions, by starting the conversations. So to me, that's the reverse engineering hack that I think you need to put into play. And going back to the Kappa thing that people were asking before, here's the thing, guys. I think that a lot of YouTubers are confused and nervous and don't really know what's going on. The way I approach it is like this, because my videos are for teens and young adults, people in high school, people in college, people that are in that growth stage of their life. And people have been asking me like, oh, Josh, aren't you worried about Kappa? I'm not really worried about it because I think at the end of the day, Kappa is a good thing, right? There should be legal laws to make sure that younger people aren't watching content that could be harmful or that can take advantage of them in any kind of way. I totally agree with that. I think that should be a thing. I don't think younger kids should even see advertisements. I think that advertisements should be nowhere near children. But that's my personal opinion from what I've learned, the research I've heard, and how kids are affected by ads. But anyway, I think that at the end of the day, the focus has to be on this. My goal is to help people. My goal is to make videos, to make content to help people grow. And if YouTube turn around tomorrow and is like, oh, no, you can't do this anymore because all these weird rules come to play, I'll find another platform. I'll find another place. For me, it's not about like, oh, I'm here on YouTube because I want to make it big and make a lot of money. My goal here really is to help people and to really do all that I can to help you guys be your best selves. So I'll always find a way to do that. I feel like it's my life mission. And I feel like when you're working towards your life mission, bumps in the road, like figuring out what do you have to mark your video as, all those little things those are small fish to fry in my mind. I'm going to jump and answer a few more questions, guys. We have a few more minutes on here. Like I said, if you haven't, hit the thumbs up button. We're at 36. Let's get to 40. Mimic says, so I did text her again on Instagram because the first time I did it on Snapchat. Yep. So Mimic, if you message her on Snapchat and she didn't respond, try messaging her on Instagram. If she doesn't respond on Instagram, don't send her multiple messages on Instagram. But if she doesn't respond on Instagram, try talking to her in person. You want to always try to take it to the next level and the next stage every time you're talking to someone, because if they're not responding, then you don't want to keep mass spamming them in one place, because then it's going to just be weird and they're going to find it kind of awkward. Okay, more questions on here. Viking Joey says, hey Josh, I have a girl that I like, but I don't have a lot of classes with her, and I just want to know how I can gain confidence to go up and talk to her. Yeah, here's what it comes down to. Here's what it comes down to, Viking Joey. To gain the confidence to walk up to a girl and talk to her is to accept and be okay with the fact that it might not work out with you. You have to accept that reality. The moment you can accept that reality, and considering you're a Viking, right? The Vikings knew, hey, listen, I'm going into war. I may die. And because of that, I'm willing to give it my all. I mean, talking to a girl isn't like a Viking going to war, but in the same kind of realm, it's along the lines of like accepting the fact that, hey, if I talk to her and she doesn't like me, I just have to move on, right? So to build that confidence really comes down to just accepting, like I said before, you either win or you learn. You're going to walk into the situation, you're going to talk to her, you're going to flirt with her, you're going to ask her out, and she's going to be okay with going out with you. Sorry. Or she doesn't want to. She tells you she only sees you as friends. She tells you she's not interested. Whatever the answer may be, and you say, okay, you know what? Maybe next time I talk to a girl, I need to talk to them more. I need to flirt with them a little bit more. Maybe I need to get to know their friends better. Find an alternative solution. The moment you can start telling yourself that there's always a way through and you just got to find it, the easier it's going to be a little bit more confident. Let's see. Let's answer some more. Oh, FXS says he's 14. I think he said going on 15. How do you meet people your age? So if you're in school, right? Let's say you're in school. School is an easier place to meet people. I think that there are people that in your class, there are people at lunch. There might be after school activities that you can join. A lot of times, I think joining an after school club or activity is a great way to meet someone. You may want to sit and think like, what are some of my hobbies? What are some of the things I enjoy doing? Do you like playing sports? Do you like music? Do you like theater? Do you like video games? Whatever it may be, try to find a thing that you enjoy. And there probably already is a community in your school that kind of goes deeper into it. So joining some kind of after school activity might be a great way to do that. Another thing is look for things going on outside of school, right? Maybe those sports or music and stuff might be happening outside of school. I know when I was younger, I was in the Boy Scouts. So that was an opportunity for me to meet other people my age as well, and to just make friends and to kind of do activities like go camping and all these different things. So you may want to look for organizations and activities either at school or outside of school where you can kind of meet and interact with people. Let's see. Rage says he should do a video for people 18 or over, people in college or in the work environment, events, conventions, singles, activities, speed dating, social hobbies, interest groups, clubs. Are there any different than having a crush on someone versus falling in love with this person? If the answer is yes, what's the difference? Or the same? Yeah. So Rage, one of the things I want to do for 2020 in the next year is I want to put together a video series that's going to focus on how young adults, how people in college, people that are of that age, and they're, let's say 18 to 24, 25, even 30, how you can kind of socialize. Because I feel like that's a big struggle a lot of people run into. It's hard. Sorry for all the coughing, I guess, or whatever. It's hard sometimes to socialize once you're kind of out of school. You're in an environment where you're not as interactive with people. How do you do that? Well, I have a few tips and I have a few solutions. So I want to put that together in a video course, like a series that I think is going to be really directed at older people to really help you guys out. All right, I'm going to answer a few more questions here. Then we're going to move to the meditation bell. Like I said, join me over on Instagram right after this live stream so you can be part of the Instagram after party. It's the after party, guys, where all the cool people go. Let's see. Let's jump into some more questions here. I saw someone get beaten one turn on Uno. How is that even possible? They must have had like all of the like the reverse, the draw floor, the flip. I know those kind of cards. You'd have to have a pretty lucky hand to be able to beat someone in one turn. Let's see. YT says asking her may sound easy, but it's one of the hardest things to do. Definitely, I hear you on this. I'll go into this, guys. When we talk about confidence, when we talk about being confident with your crush or being confident in a situation where you want to talk to someone or socialize or go after something that you want, it's never easy. There's never going to be a day where you're going to say, oh, this is easy. I don't even think about it. You're always going to have some kind of doubt or some kind of concern or some kind of worry. And that's just being human. That's normal. It's okay to experience doubt or nervousness or worry. Like, those feelings are not bad and wrong feelings. They're honest and genuine feelings. Now, the question ends up being not so much how to get rid of nervousness. The question ends up being more so, how do you manage nervousness? How do you accept that you feel nervous? And how do you kind of carry it forward in a way where it's like, I recognize that I'm nervous right now. I know I don't feel comfortable, but I'm going to try to find a solution through it. I'm going to find a way. This is something I think is so important, and I really, really want you guys to think about. As we come to the close here, some of you know, some of you don't, I have my meditation bell here. And what I like to do is I like to end each of the streams by hitting the meditation bell. I feel that it allows us to kind of take in the information that we've heard in this live stream and sit and think about it. Take 10 seconds just to kind of be a little bit more at peace. So I do want to say that, guys. Really, when it comes to building that confidence, it's going to take practice and it's going to take time. I know you have what it takes to be somebody great deep down inside. And hopefully, after you watch this live stream, I'm going to put up the timestamp so you can jump in and hear my answers again. But I truly do believe that you have to recognize that you won't learn from a situation until you put yourself in it, until you experience it, until you try it. And I know trying it is scary. I know trying it is hard, but even if it doesn't work out for you, it's not the end of the world. It's not the last opportunity you have. You either win or you learn, guys. That's the key takeaway. All right. What I want each of you guys to do right now is to close your eyes. Close your eyes, and we're going to hear the sound of the bell, and we're going to take a deep breath in. Okay, guys? Everyone ready? Let's do this. Think about the things we talked about on this stream today. Think about what it takes to be somebody great and to put your confidence out there. I know you have it, and I want you to really start to pursue it. As we move closer to this new year, let your resolution be to take chances, to make mistakes, and to just try. Because the only way you're ever going to learn in life is if you try. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this live stream. I believe in you guys, and I will catch you over on the Instagram after party. As always, love and peace. I'll see you guys next time.